जय हिंद, वंदे मातरम, हर हर महादेव। ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। Friends, welcome to today's live discussion. Generally, I do my discussions, my live programs on Wednesdays and Saturdays. So today was the right time, and I suddenly decided to talk on this topic of artificial intelligence. So all of you are welcome to join today's discussion, and I hope to spread my understanding of what artificial intelligence is all about. Now, somebody calls it as pure evil. It's not good for humanity. Somebody says, some people are saying, no, artificial intelligence is like an angel for humanity. So the house is divided, but I will share my perspective. And if somebody wants to share his own perspective or he wants to add to my discussion, he or she is welcome to today's discussion. You have to just introduce yourself. I will share the StreamYard link and then we can chat. We can have a fruitful discussion. It doesn't matter whether you share my opinion or not. You can have your own counter opinion and let the people decide, right? So this has always been my theme. But since this is my forum, anybody who joins my discussion, I will and make sure that I ask the right questions. And if the person is willing to answer those questions, then we can enjoy the discussion. It's not that you just take over. I won't allow that. I have seen people who come to the show and just try to, hijack the whole situation. That won't be allowed. We have to stick to the topic. So earlier there used to be people like James and all those fellows. Any day he used to be there on the lives, and as soon as I open the live StreamYard link, he will jump in and start talking about Christianity. Oh, this is happening with Christian. That is, I am not supposed to. I'm not answerable. I'm not the government. I'm not the prime minister. You go and complain to them, not to me. So this is a problem. Such people, such notorious people also come. Then there are the jihadis also who come to this channel. Oh, how can you talk about Muhammad? How can you talk about Islam? This blah blah blah. I will kill you. This that. So this is the problem. Anyway, uh, let me start. Now, artificial intelligence is now the buzzword everywhere. You have seen those who are familiar with the computer world. They know now artificial intelligence based programs are also coming in. We have Chat GPT and various other sites which are purely based on artificial intelligence, right? So the computer programming work which used to take days now can be done in hours, and which used to take hours can be done in minutes. Like, take the example of video editing. Now with the help of artificial intelligence based softwares, it can do your editing in minutes. So many people are enjoying the benefits of that, but there is a limitation to it also. But slowly and slowly artificial intelligence will progress. So all these robotics and this data learning is all related to artificial intelligence. Now, in a way, if you look at superficially, it looks good, because it helps you to reduce your workload. It helps you to solve some mysterious questions or complex questions. But at what cost? Have you ever wondered about it? Has anybody bothered to wonder about it? I want to ask that question to you. What cost you are paying? The cost is hidden. Nothing is free, but they are offering you at free of cost. Why? Why are they offering you at free of cost? Why? So, for that, you have to now deep dive into uh, what should I use the word? See, you will have to understand where uh, these service providers are coming from. Artificial intelligence is basically designed to take away the skill set of the humans. And once the human kind is dependent on these robotics, the plan is to, you know, depopulate the earth from humanity. So they want to create a transhuman network. And this is being done by the psychopaths, the capitalist psychopaths across the world. And they are pushing for this. Now, this may sound something like a conspiracy theory, but if you take time out, if you think coolly, if you try to connect the dots, the picture is very, very clear. You have to just clear the pixels. So if you have a sharp pixelate thinking, you will come to know what the agenda is, and what I am talking will make sense to you. According to me, artificial intelligence is nothing but pure evil. Pure evil. It will destroy humanity. It will destroy the human emotions. Now, you have seen in current generation with the advent of computers, slowly and slowly, these mobile phones, computers, gadgets, tablets, people are losing their emotions. Kids are now, watching porn sites. They're watching PUBG, how to use a machine gun, playing games. Like, take a family of four or five or six. Everybody has a mobile. Everybody is sticking to their own mobiles. Nobody has time for each other. They're completely engrossed in their own world, including me. I'm not trying to sound as if I'm a preacher. I'm trying to tell you this is what is happening. And what is happening with that? We are just enjoying the pleasures of our senses. Our eyes, ears, mouth, all these are getting the pleasures. But where are the emotions? Nothing. The human bonding, which used to be there earlier, is not there. So, this is the first point. Then the second point of artificial intelligence is the big conspiracies behind it. Why every government is pushing for artificial intelligence? Because they want to control the world. By controlling the world, they will have the ultimate power. And these are the same people who who have been working for generations to control the world. They were the same people who invaded our country, our Bharat Varsha. Our Akhanda Bharat was divided by the same people. So they want to control the world. They now rule America. They do now control Europe. Africa and Latin America is almost been wiped out. They've taken away all their natural resources, created ethnic conflicts. So people are not able to live happily. Asia is slightly trying to come back, but I doubt how long Asia will survive. Yeah, Kamakshi, yes, yes, it's a curse. Yes, it's a curse. So Kamakshi is from the software industry itself. So she knows much more about software and artificial intelligence than me. But What I'm trying to tell you is I'm trying to tell you the bigger picture. Who are the people behind it? So these artificial intelligence is linked to the 5G networks also. You Everybody must have heard of 5G. 5G. So what is 5G actually? Is it a fifth generation technology? No. Fifth generation technology is not for civilians. 5G is a military technology. It is a technology where the wavelength of 20 gigahertz and above is used. And in China, they have their own flag check. We still after American AI. Right, Kamakshi, you're right. Uh, China is much more advanced, much ahead in this game of artificial intelligence. And people like Rajiv Malhotra sitting in America, acting as a Hindu activist, that bluffer is now is highly promoting artificial intelligence. But please try to understand, Kamakshi. I always tell you this: China is not what we are watching. China is controlled by CCP, the Communist Party of China, and CCP is controlled by the Rothschilds. So China is effectively being controlled by the Rothschilds, and the Rothschilds are also being controlled by somebody else. Yeah, be it humanities or science. Yes, yes, everywhere. They are in the medical mafia. They are in the medical system. The pandemic was planned by them. Kamakshi, if you want to join, let me know. I'll share the StreamYard link. Since you are an expert on this. So, what was I saying? Huh. So China is doing all this work of artificial intelligence to what? For expansion. But they are doing this for the expansion of what? On behalf of whom? They are working for the deep dark state. I always call that the dark deep state is controlling China. That same dark deep state is controlling India. That same deep dark state is controlling Russia. And that okay, no problem. Take care. Uh, take care of your health. So that same deep dark state controls America, Europe. So the entire world is controlled by them. As I told you in my last talk, I hope Kamakshi have watched or not, but again, let me. They're using the Hegelian dialectic model to create problems. I coined this term planned chaos. So they are spreading the chaos in a very planned way. And I have been studying this pattern since 2014. Unfortunately, I came to know about all these things very late in 2015, and by that time, our Guju Dhokla became the prime minister. And from there on, I started drifting away from this system because I could make out that this system is highly compromised and controlled by the deep dark state. So the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds, all these people, they control. So the entire corporate sector, the banking sector is controlled. Media, everything is controlled by them. Anyway, so artificial intelligence is based on the robotics model, and they are using the human emotions to make artificial human beings. Like in future, Google and all these people, they are coming out with self-driven cars. Tesla is already there, right? So why are they are investing billions and billions and trillions of dollars into that? They're doing it to map out the humans. Google gives you free map services and all those. Why do they do that? Because they want to trace with the help of humans. They want to trace. If they invest their own money, they won't be able to do it. So what they're doing is they're providing us with this all these free maps and all these geolocation softwares and these mobile phones so that they can map out the entire world, each and every corner. is not left by them. So they have the whole thing. So with the help of artificial intelligence, they are able to track down the whole area. Even a small lane in a village is also being tracked down. This is the first thing. Second, this will help them to introduce self-driven cars. Once they have a self-driven vehicle, imagine millions of people across the world losing their jobs. Can you imagine that? In future, because nobody will hire a driver. Used to hire a driver, used to hire a taxi, but now in future, what will happen is with the press of a button, the car will automatically come. It it will be geotagging you. Yeah, brain mapping is also going on for a long time. Brain mapping has been going on for a very long time, but sadly people are not interested to listen about it. What can I do anyway? So not illegal. What do you mean by not illegal? I could not understand. Anyway, so what I was trying to say, yeah. So imagine millions of drivers losing their jobs. And what about their families? Suppose you hire a driver, you pay him 15,000 rupees, 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 rupees a month. With that salary, he runs a family of three or four people. What will happen to them? So you're taking away the job set. Now, second victim of this will be the banking sector. In future, nobody will be required to have, because once CBDC introduced, all these banking fellows who enjoyed a lot of free ride, a very cool, comfortable job and a good paying salary, all these banking fellows will be jobless because there will be practically nothing to do because everything will be done by the computer. You have your ATMs, they give you cash. In future, there will be no requirement of cash because as per the planning of the deep state, cash will be gone. It will be all centrally controlled because their agenda is one world government, new world order. So this is all being part of a new world order. So artificial intelligence should be looked related to that, but is not a single person who is ready to listen, who is ready to act in the name of Hindutva, in the name of Vikas and all this nonsense. People have given up their freedom. They are just following the dhokla blindly. Anyway, so let me not digress from my issue. Now, second point, what I was saying. So, what will happen is, so all these banking guys will lose their jobs. All these banks will get closed. I'm telling you, you watch in the next 4 5 years, it will happen, and it will happen very fast. Third victim will be the education sector. All these colleges, universities, they all will be closed down because everything will be done on a webinar. Everything will be put in a video. You have to just subscribe to the video channel. You take your lessons, and one person will be teaching millions and millions of people, students. So all these teachers, all these professors, all these PhDs, they all will be gone. Now the next victim will be the software programmers, the software coders. All the software programming now will be done by the computer itself. So you need not hire a software programmer. You just need a sophisticated artificial intelligence based software which can take care of the software programming, and it will start doing your job. So can you imagine? I've just given you examples of five sectors. Can you imagine at least a billion people losing their jobs? Or sorry, not jobs, their livelihood. Can you not imagine that? Because everybody is dependent on each other. And once these people lose their jobs, what about the collateral damage which will come with it? Their families will not have money to spend. And once their families do not have money, the grocer, uh, the barber, or whatever their money they spend, They will not have the money. They will not have clients to serve. So the whole economy of the middle class and the lower middle class will be wiped out. Only the rich and the richer class will get more rich. So this is happening. Uh, what is illegal? I am not. I did not get you, Kamakshi. Are you there? No problem. Okay, if you're not there, no problem. So once this is there, can you imagine, friends, a billion people without any with skills, without any job, without any life, without any. So what will they do is they'll give you free rationing. So artificial intelligence, in a way, will only benefit a few people, my friends. Okay, I agree that it will give you better services, but at what cost? If I get a better service and people are losing jobs, is it a good thing? With a population of 150 crores, can India afford that? Has the government thought about it? People like Rajiv Malhotra, with with a good money in his pocket, settled, well settled in America, and researching about Hinduness and compromising with these jihadis. Is he working for the deep state? He's promoting artificial intelligence. Why? Has he never thought about it? Why is he not talking about it? Why the government of India does not want to you to know all these things? But the problem is nobody talks about it. Media as such is only interested in Hindu, Musalman, BJP, Congress, and all this nonsense shit. They want to keep you illiterate, dumb, and see what they want to show you. And you all fall into the trap. And this Hindu activist and all these nonsense fellows and these sadhus and these vigilantes, they are all corrupted. They are all compromised. I call them controlled opposition. I know many of you are blind bhakts of some Babaji or some Maharaj or something. But I know the reality because I am from that Adhyatmic background also. Luckily, because I can connect, I can immediately make out whether this fellow is real, genuine, or fake. Anyway, so what I'm trying to tell you is the artificial intelligence is pure evil in my mind, but it has got its plus side also. So, friends, I'm not trying to say as that it does not have a the bright side also. Bright side. It has certain bright sides, but that is just a trap. That is just a trap. But if you look at the overall picture, you will find that artificial intelligence does not help anybody. In it might give you some relief for some time. It may give you some better benefits. It may give you some edge for a certain period of time. But after, when the entire humanity suffers, will you be happy? I won't be happy making 500 million or $1 billion. And if if 1 million people or 2 million people lose their jobs, they don't have anything, they go hungry. I don't want to be richer. Don't want to be rich at the expense of the poor fellow. I want that. I want to introduce such things which helps others. So capitalism does not mean that you take the livelihood of others. What if they develop consciousness? Who is they? Identify yourself. Artificial, can computers develop consciousness? I I can't think of machines getting consciousness. Consciousness is something which has been discussed for centuries and centuries, for millennia. Our sadhus, rishis, munis, they have been talking about consciousness. All Vedic philosophy is all about that super consciousness and consciousness. But the problem is we do not recognize them as the scientists. I have been always fighting for the cause of these rishis and maharishis who gave us this idea long back. But these Westerners have now hijacked the whole Vedic philosophy also. So all this brain mapping and all this thing is for what? Is for their own wealth creation. Is for their own psychopathic ways of controlling the humanity. Consciousness does not mean that you kill somebody else and become richer. Is that consciousness? I don't want such consciousness. So consciousness has to be used as per the Vedic system of dharma. That is why I always say fight for dharma, fight for dharma. But nobody is interested anyway. So that's a the separate topic. If you're interested, we can talk about consciousness some other day. So machines cannot develop consciousness, and they will never develop. It's all being controlled from the outside, and the psychopaths will destroy the whole world. And we are seeing that. We are seeing the introduction of this digital currencies, these 5G systems, this artificial intelligence, and all those things. We are seeing what is happening. And no doubt, we all are the culprits, including me. I have been also a culprit to this. But the problem is, in today's world, if you have to even survive, if you have to eat food for 2 times, you cannot do it by yourself. You have to depend on others. So everybody is in that rat race. You are forced to follow the rat race. What can you do? So anyway, uh, last two comments I could not understand. What is not illegal, and what if they? Who is they? I do not understand. Anyway, so I have told you my point of view, friends. Artificial intelligence is a curse, as Kamakshi told earlier, and I fully agree with that. It is a curse, and we should stay away from artificial. But the problem is, in today's world, if you do not follow the technology, if you do not accept, you do not embrace the technology, you will be left behind. And once you're left behind, you feel guilty about it. I understand. But we have to be we have to be conscious. We have to educate each and every person. We have to talk about it. But the problem is we have become so dumb that we do not even communicate to each other. We do not even care for each other, especially the Chindu community. The Hindus have lost everything. They are not bothered for anything. They have been butchered like cattle on the streets, but they don't care. I don't understand what has happened to these people. Such a big civilization, such a oldest civilization on earth, and the what has happened to them? Is it the great illusion? They've fallen completely to the propaganda. Can't you see that they've they have taken your identity away? Who you are? Are you not bothered about it? Are you just a living robotic creature, eating and sleeping and shitting and then again? I mean, what have you become? Oh God, I fail to understand. Anyway, So this is what my idea was, and I have tried to educate. If somebody has some other point of view, you please let me know, and then we can take it forward. So artificial intelligence is not being used by the governments. Governments are, the politicians do not have that much brains, but they are working on behalf. The politicians are the puppets, but they are working on behalf of somebody else. And I know who are the people behind that. The famous ones, you know the names, but those people are also not behind it. There are some other forces. But anyway, but all these people are also part, because capitalist model, the Western capitalist model is behind that. And behind that Western capitalist model is the Hegelian dialectic model. So they are using the dialectic model to make humans, suffer at the hands of each other. We are fighting with each other because the dialectic model, they create a narrative and then they create a counter narrative. So the narrative and the counter narrative is being created by them. This is how they created ethnic problems. Can you imagine? Do you know how East India Company ruled India? How they controlled India? By making us to fight with each other. They created fault lines. They created false narratives, and they created a counter narrative. And this is how this country got enslaved and never came out of it. We are still being controlled by them. We are a proxy state. We don't have freedom. We don't have anything. So artificial intelligence will lead to the problem. There are now, it has reached a point. It has taken great giant strides. Now it is a reality. In 2023, it is in front of us. And imagine the havoc it will create in future. And they're using these technologies in military applications. They're using this technology in the name of controlling the enemy, but this will be used against us. Don't don't trust that our governments are working for us. All these technologies is being developed to wipe out the human race. I know I am making a big statement, and but I am doing it very consciously and with full responsibility. I'm talking all these things. Anyway, friends, time is up for me, and there's no more discussions coming forward. So I'll have to end the show today. Hope to see you in some other day. Good night. Take care. Har Har Mahadev. Har Har Mahadev. Jai Jai Shri Radhe.